Welcome to this presentation on Agile Modeling using Enterprise Architect and the Sparx Modeling platform. You will learn about some of the tools and facilities available to Agile project teams to create and manage all types of Agile project content, including epics, user stories, requirements, stakeholder maps, business information, Kanban boards, analysis, and design elements, and more. You develop and review the models collaboratively, and you can share them with customers and a range of other disciplines from executives, strategists, managers, architects, analysts, developers, testers, and more. In this presentation, we will cover the following topics. Use Kanban boards to run your Agile projects. Manage stories, requirements, and analyze change. Visualize model content in diagrams and charts. Work together with collaboration and teams. Communicate and integrate with model exchange. Use Kanban boards to run your Agile projects. In this topic, you will learn how to manage and triage backlogs, move items between lanes and boards, and visualize resource allocations. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including manage and triage backlogs, add stories, issues, test cases, and requirements, set work in progress limits, project the boards to a wall or run virtual stand-ups, and more. Change your project role at the drop of a hat by selecting a perspective, and watch Enterprise Architect set your focus on the chosen discipline by hiding other tool options. Choosing a perspective will increase your productivity as you concentrate on modeling for your selected role. Create tailored perspectives by including selected technologies relevant to your modeling intent, or create perspectives for teams and groups, ensuring the entire team stays focused. Manage requirements, user stories, use cases, and more, with Agile Kanban diagrams to increase speed to market, and customer value. As a product owner, triage and manage backlogs and effortlessly move items between lanes and boards. Your whole team can work productively by choosing items from the board and recording their progress on an item. You can use pre-configured boards using patterns, or define your project or personal boards and lanes, including colors, work in progress limits, and which properties to display. Get the best of both worlds by projecting model content to a wall, including Kanban boards. Move items between lanes and boards or change element properties such as status, priority, author, and more. View the team members working on particular items and visualize the progress bars indicating the percentage of the task they have completed. During stand-up or stakeholder meetings, drill down to the strategic drivers, goals, requirements, development artifacts, test cases, and more. Focus on the critical stories, issues, bugs, or tests using the handy filter facility and turn unimportant items to grayscale or hide them completely to focus on items of interest. You can filter on element type, status, priority, author, version, or any user-defined meta property such as business criticality or volatility. You can apply other filters to show a different focus and set of elements. You can also reuse the filters and apply them to any diagram type. Keeping the backlog triaged is critical to ensuring the team delivers value to the customer. Choose between a single lane method where items are reordered in a single lane to indicate priority or a multi-lane method where items are dragged between lanes to show their priority. You can use a range of properties such as priority, status, phase, version, or a user-defined property such as business importance as the basis for the lane organization. View other metadata and connections to related model elements such as requirements and constraints. Deliver value within progress limits that ensure that you optimize the team's output. Work in progress limits allow teams to complete single work items faster by ensuring a team focuses on completing current tasks before starting new ones. You can configure the optimal over and under fill limits and set colored flags that the system will raise when the limits are breached. A Scrum Master, team leader, or project manager can add any number of resources to any item in a Kanban diagram or Gantt chart. Team members can do this quickly, and each team member can periodically update the percentage of the task they have completed, which will appear as a progress bar on the item in the Kanban diagram for all to see. Alternatively, team members can swarm a user story or other item to ensure it gets completed in the requisite time, adding themselves to the list of people working on the item. Collaborate with sticky notes in Kanban boards, making the diagrams more appealing to team members. Legends can automatically color the sticky notes based on the value of properties such as the item type or author. You can display a range of metadata on the notes, including author, version, phase, and drag and drop to move items between lanes and other boards. Get the best from Kanban boards by configuring how the boards work and setting style and layout options to comply with corporate or project standards, creating compelling visualization for the entire team, enable overfill and underfill limits to encourage higher quality and improved delivery performance. Manage stories, requirements, and analyze change. In this topic, you will learn about user stories, model patterns, prioritizing and checking status, audits and baselines. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including create quality user stories, requirements, and issues. Get a flying start with model patterns. Prioritize requirements, issues, and tests. Keep track of changes and find gaps. And more. Create epics and user stories to record the user's goals and expectations, and then add rich metadata like constraints, tags, and project information such as tasks and tests, as you analyze and implement the story. Alternatively, use the Pro Cloud Server integration to pull in epics, stories, and issues from tools like Jira, and link the items to rich modeled content including database tables, application components, and information models. Get off to a flying start by automatically injecting elements and diagrams into your repository using the Model Wizard patterns. Browse the extensive pattern library, which contains hundreds of pre-built models, and peruse the documentation accompanying each pattern to understand the benefit it will bring and how best to work with the pattern. Switch perspectives and access hundreds of other helpful analysis, strategic, requirements, information, user experience, and model publishing patterns. Keep customers informed using the flexible slideshow facility in the Model Views panel. Add any diagrams to the slideshow by dragging and dropping them from the browser window and changing the item order. Create compelling presentations of model content using the facility before a sprint commences, giving customers a preview of what will be developed. Record focus group questions and answers in a mind map in physical or virtual workshops, allowing stakeholders to visualize their ideas and concerns in a business-friendly diagram. Follow up the focus group or workshop, analyze the results and connect the derived requirements, needs, and concerns to the statements recorded in the mind map. As the specification and solution evolve, trace from any design or implementation element, via the requirements, back to the original stakeholder statements, ensuring that what you implement will delight your stakeholders. Keep track of high-priority requirements, or those with particular statuses, by viewing them in a spreadsheet view using the Specification Manager. Change the priority or other metadata directly in the sheet or a list, or the Properties window. Ensure projects are delivering value to stakeholders by implementing the high-priority requirements. See how your requirements stack up, by applying a checklist to individual requirements or packages of requirements. Extend the checklist to other elements such as stories, use cases, and business rules, to ensure rigor and standardization. Use a checklist pattern of predefined quality characteristics, or define your organization, project, or team qualities for each element type. Stay on top of requirement issues, by defining and viewing a list of concerns with requirements or other elements. Avoid problems with implementation, testing, or production, by analyzing and cataloging requirement issues. These issues can relate to semantics, ambiguity, structure, omissions, inclusions, and more, and their early definition and resolution with help ensure successful project outcomes. Automatically color code requirement statuses to clearly show a requirement's position in your project lifecycle. Immediately identify the status of a requirement on a diagram and easily visualize requirements with the same status, such as those that are validated but not yet implemented. Create user-defined status codes and set their colors based on business or technical processes and workflows. Keep track of who changed what and when by enabling auditing for the repository. Use the settings window to specify the auditing level and to adjust the amount of information you want to record. Also, define the elements you want to include in the audit. You can enable auditing at different times, such as when consultants or external parties are working on the repository or at particular phases of your project. Managing changing requirements is critical to the success of any project or endeavor. Using Enterprise Architect, you can document changes to requirements and other elements by creating change records that define the nature of the change, the person who requested the change, its status and priority, and a range of other attributes. This information is critical when creating and evaluating test cases and stakeholder satisfaction. Understand connectivity and gaps in your models by using matrices to visualize the relationship between source and target elements or features. Locate scope creep, gaps, and unimplemented requirements by viewing the colored matrix bands. Visualize any element's connections, including drivers, goals, user stories, use cases, test cases, risks, and more. Include the matrix in web pages and publications as an alternative view for non-technical stakeholders, or export it to a spreadsheet or save it for future reference. Discover what's changed in your model using the powerful comparison feature of the baseline utility. Create any number of baselines for any model package, and then as your model evolves, compare it to one or more baselines of the same package. Revert each change or an entire package to the content in the baseline, and set options to suppress changes such as diagram and date changes. Use the feature for requirements, user stories, use cases, or any other package of model elements and diagrams. Visualize model content in diagrams and charts. In this topic, you will view element connectivity and compelling charts to see team progress, impacts, requirement, and test statuses. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including: replace elements with meaningful images, view traceability and connectivity, view team progress using charts and impact analysis diagrams, visualize model connections with interactive charts, and more. Add images to diagrams to create expressive narratives and compelling representations that will engage business and technical stakeholders, who are typically unfamiliar with the modeling languages. Use a built-in library of handy images or create your own at a team, project, organization, or industry level. Use scalable vector or raster images and include them in web pages or reports and publications generated from the model. Never lose track of element connectivity with the traceability window, and view a graph of model connections from a context or reference element. Set options to restrict which relationships to display, and locate related elements in the browser or diagrams, and instantly view their properties. Use this view in conjunction with other windows, like matrices, and model views to gain a comprehensive understanding of how requirements relate to both business and technology elements, ensuring there is no scope creep or unintended gaps in your design. Visualize requirement statuses, other properties and metadata in compelling charts and graphs viewable on dashboard diagrams. Use the diagrams to drive repository administration and modeling tasks, and include them in reports and publications. You can also set display options including legends and colors to make the charts more appealing and meaningful. Visualize team progress to ensure your Agile project's success. View the number of tasks completed in a time series graph to understand how resources are utilized across projects. Use formatting options such as styles, colors, and axis settings to ensure the charts are appealing, meaningful, and comply with corporate guidelines. Analyze test run statuses to reveal potential bottlenecks that will delay the completion of a sprint. Test-driven development using tightly interwoven coding, testing, and design practices has become prevalent in Agile projects. Use the tools chart and graph facilities to visualize test runs, including pass and fail results quickly, and understand where problems exist in design models or programming artifacts. Use a range of formatting options to make the charts more appealing and meaningful. Analyze the impact of change by visualizing the connections between elements regardless of their position in the repository. Visualize requirements, user stories, issues, or any other element, and see how they are connected, viewing the potential impacts. Change between vertical, horizontal, radial, or force-directed displays, and configure element and connector types and directions. Use filters to remove impacted or impacting elements. Change colors and styles, and share the visualizations with customers, managers, stakeholders, and team members using Prolaborate or tools like Confluence. Drill down through multiple dimensions with sunburst charts that allow you to quickly invert dimensions, such as programs, projects, and strategic, tactical, and obsolete application groups. Unlock the wealth of information in the repository, and serve it to corporate stakeholders and executives in compelling and interactive charts. You can change report settings such as colors and styles to align with your organization's conventions. Work together with collaboration and teams. In this topic, you will learn how to collaborate with team members anywhere in the world using chat, discussions, reviews, journals, mail, calendars, and the team library. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including: work with colleagues anywhere in the world, chat and discuss projects, models, and ideas, run in office or virtual stand-ups, review each other's work and give real-time feedback, and more. The daily stand-up is a cornerstone of Agile, and when run well keeps the team well unified and on track. Run physical, virtual, or hybrid stand-ups with on-premise and remote team members using the team collaboration features built into the tool. Project the Kanban boards in physical stand-ups and share them for virtual meetings, and have the Scrum Master quickly record the items or allow team members to fill them preemptively, saving time during the session. Ensure you start and stay on track with reviews, getting feedback from customers, consultants, and colleagues. You can conduct the reviews in the desktop tool, or if your models are served by the Pro Cloud server, you can review them in a web browser using WebEA. Take your modeling to the next level and ensure you evaluate your models for quality, compliance, risk mitigation, consistency, and more. Stay tuned to your colleagues with Model Chat, designed to keep everyone close at hand and to share ideas instantly. Chat with any team member or an entire group using the desktop tool. You can continue to converse even when colleagues are on the go or out of the office, using WebEA, available on notebooks, smartphones or tablets. You can filter the messages by time interval and set notifications to be alerted when new posts arrive. Enjoy productivity gains by working as a closely knit team, and keep a record of what you talk about for future reference. Keep in touch with your team, consultants, and customers with Model Mail, an in-repository mail system that facilitates collaborative modeling and idea sharing. Add links to diagrams, matrices, elements, properties, documents, and more. Send mail to individuals or groups and enjoy the productivity gains achieved by opening up the referenced model items directly from mail links. Set colored priority flags when sending mail, and receive notifications when you have new mail. Ensure you are on track with reviews of essential or critical parts of your model. Invite colleagues or others, like customers and consultants, to review model content such as architecture descriptions, principles, catalogs, and diagrams. Conduct reviews inside the desktop tool or in a web browser using the powerful collaboration features of the Pro Cloud server. Know what's on and when with the fully featured in model calendar, and record the critical events in any initiative. Display other information such as tasks and resource allocation and choose between day, week, or month views. Set options to display calendar entries, project tasks, and resource allocation, and drill down from the calendar entries to the location of the referenced items in the browser window. Put meaning at your fingertips with the powerful glossary tools that ensure teams are on the same page and have the same mental model of terms and definitions. Readers will see the meaning of industry, project, or team terms as rollovers in diagram, element or connector notes and other model-based project documentation. create categories of terms based on disciplines, semantic fields, source, and more. Turn any project element into a glossary term by adding it to a glossary diagram. You can also include the glossary items and their meanings in a corporate publication or web page. Analyze your competitors in the marketplace and catalog the aspects of their products and services that threaten your organization's success. Record benchmarking results and market analysis, including surveys and other research tools. Create user-defined properties such as threat level, customer segment, market uniqueness, and other metadata to categorize your observations and analysis. Use matrices to show how your offerings compare to your competitors, and share your results with colleagues and management using WebEA and Prolaborate in a browser. Keep your diagrams simple with hand-drawn mode, and engage stakeholders to continue contributing to a model's evolution. Toggle between highly resolved diagrams and this sketched mode that gives the appearance you scribbled the details on the back of a serviette. Apply other tools such as filters, layers, and diagram labels and legends to add meaning and appeal. Model business information in easy-to-understand models that describe the entities themselves, their attributes, and relationships to other entities. Model information at any level showing how it is consumed and produced as input and output to activities in business process diagrams. Show how information is conveyed as part of a payload on an interface between two application components. Transform the diagram into platform-specific models, including database schemas, XML schemas, programming code, and more. Communicate, publish, integrate and exchange models. In this topic, you will see how to create corporate publications and exchange content with other tools like Excel and SharePoint. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including view models in real time through a web browser, publish high-quality corporate documents, integrate with more than 30 other tools, SharePoint, Jira, exchange data with spreadsheets and documents, and more. Put your Agile projects in your pocket, and instantly view real-time models in a browser no matter where you are. View the models on a notebook, tablet, or smartphone, and create new requirements, application components, and more, adding notes and other details as required. Collaborate with colleagues, consultants, and customers by entering into discussions, chat, reviews, and viewing each other's model additions and changes in real time. Generate high-quality corporate documents directly from the model. Use a range of document generation techniques with flexible system or user-defined templates, filters, and presentation options. Completely customize your publications to comply with industry, corporate, or customer standards, including styles and logos. Add static and dynamic content, and auto-regenerate the document when the model changes. Generate publications in formats such as docx, HTML, PDF, and more. Whip up expressive but straightforward diagrams using the flexible and productive whiteboard diagram. A toolbox of useful shapes and icons including circles, cylinders, squares, cubes, stars, and other shapes to quickly get ideas down in team or customer meetings. Link elements from more formal diagrams to the whiteboard icons to facilitate traceability and references for non-technical stakeholders. Get to know your stakeholders and create clear and concise specifications, designs, and solutions, based on their needs and concerns. Use a pattern to model your stakeholders' influence and the impact the solution has on them, or create your own diagrams to model other aspects of a stakeholder's concerns or relationship with the initiative. These models will deliver benefits and help ensure you are managing the system's value proposition. Exchange items with Azure DevOps using the integration features of Prolaborate and the Pro Cloud Server. Allowing cross-disciplinary teams working in different tools to communicate is paramount to the success of an Agile project. Integrate Prolaborate with Azure DevOps and ensure developers communicate with customers, product owners, analysts, and designers working in Enterprise Architect. Integrate your Enterprise Architect models with other platforms, including SharePoint, Jira, ServiceNow, Team Foundation Server, and many more. Set up the integrations with the Pro Cloud server and then push and pull information to and from the external tools. Collaborate in real time with users of other platforms that support discussions and comments, and share diagrams through a browser using WebEA or Prolaborate. Bring teams together and visualize a wide range of enterprise data from multiple platforms in a single pane of glass. View models in Confluence using the Prolaborate integration to reach team members who view project and team information in Confluence. Getting access to modeled information allows teams to work together seamlessly and without barriers, producing positive customer outcomes. Use the Confluence integration to view any modeled elements, including diagrams, lists and visualizations. View and edit metadata and participate in discussions with anyone who has a stake in the project, including customers, product owners, consultants, and team members. Exchange requirements, user stories, risks, and other elements with spreadsheets. By using the CSV Exchange utility, save time and effort by importing existing definitions from spreadsheets, including inbuilt properties such as type, status, and priority, or user-defined properties such as business owner or criticality. Create and reuse your specifications for both import and export of modeling information. In this presentation, we have covered the following topics. Use Kanban boards to run your Agile projects. Manage stories, requirements, and analyze change. Visualize model content in diagrams and charts. Work together with collaboration and teams. Communicate and integrate with Model Exchange.